take care of your mental health while you're working on your degree. Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Miss Mo. And so today I am continuing my welcome back to school, grad school edition, in which I just talk about some of the behind the scenes stuff that goes on with graduate students, especially doctoral graduate students. And so today I'm going to be talking about mental health. And I really enjoy this topic in general, and I definitely think that it should be a wider conversation with graduate students, especially melanated graduate students, because the things that go on behind the scenes as you work to get your graduate degree, whether it's your master's, but in particularly your doctorate degree, the things that go on behind the scenes, like mentally, is so fucking crazy. Like, it doesn't even make any sense. And the lack of conversation behind it is actually kind of scary, because you have a lot of students, and I am one of them. You have a lot of students that suffer in silence for the sake of that paper, the sake of that degree. And so, what I'm going to be talking about is I'm going to briefly talk about my experience with basically having like a mental breakdown while working on my current working on my current degree, and what I did to just kind of to basically kind of save myself, and hopefully my story, my experience can be something that can, I don't know, provide comfort to not only women but women of color, young working professionals, and just anybody that's a graduate student. Just provide some type of comfort and to let them know, basically let them know that they're not alone and that they have a support system. So let's begin the video. My mental breakdown, you guys. I joke about it now. But it was very scary. So the thing that happened was this. In 2017, I was like, I want to go back to school. I want to go back to school. I want to get my doctoral degree. And I wanted to get my doctoral degree basically because I saw my parents had it. My mom got her doctorate degree, and my dad has his doctorate degree. And what basically happened was that in 2017, I attended Howard University. Didn't work out. We had to part ways. I attended Howard University for 1 year, and I was like, man, that fucking sucks. I really want my degree, so what do? So I signed up for another doctoral program, and by the grace of God, I got in. And so this program was online, so it had a little bit more of a flexible schedule in comparison to the program that I was attending at Howard University. This program was online, and my experience at Howard was kind of like, I think I was more like exhausted from just working all the time. And then the type of setup that they have for that program, you needed to be on campus. So it's like, again, I'm leaving my 9 to 5 job, rushing through rush hour just to get to the campus and trying to pay attention in class, and I was just exhausted. So I was like, I'm at this new school. I'm going to, and it has a flexible schedule because it's remote. Awesome. Got to that school, was pumped up, excited, like, yeah. I was, like, my experience at Howard made me feel like, man, I was a sucky student. But I was like, okay, I know I'm not. I know I can do this. And so when I got to this new school, I was like, okay, I can do this. And I was I was getting in a rhythm, y'all. I was getting in my academic rhythm. I was just going, and then I stopped. And I stopped because of one teacher, y'all. One teacher can make your academic experience a beautiful thing or a fucking nightmare. And this teacher made it a fucking nightmare. And it wasn't just a nightmare for me, it was a nightmare for other students as well. And so this teacher, and it didn't help that this teacher was teaching a difficult subject. And it was a difficult subject, mainly because it wasn't a subject that I was very strong in. That particular teacher was teaching, was it quantitative, was teaching quantitative research. And my brain is not built for quantitative research. And maybe the smart thing would have been to just take that one class. But because, like, I was trying to get out of school as fast as possible, I didn't want to just take one class. I took maybe like 2 or 3 classes altogether that semester, and I don't. Again, that wasn't necessarily the smartest thing to do, but my logic was like, I want to get out of school faster, so let me take these classes. Because if I take these classes, I'm going to get closer to my degree, which means I'm going to be able to graduate, which means I'm going to be able to find a job that pays really well, and I can pay off my student loan debt and just try to live my best life as much as possible. And so, yeah, that was my logic behind it, and that logic of let me finish, um, molded itself into a whole anxiety ball. And what happened was that this particular teacher, um, the the teaching style plus the course load plus my anxiety just made me crash. And in 2019, I just experienced a very bad anxiety attack. Um, and it was bad because it's like I couldn't really eat anything. Like, I would eat and I would get hives. And it was hard for me to, like, really sleep. I was cranky. I was just like in a very sad space. And then it didn't also help that I was working for a social justice nonprofit. And if there's anyone that's ever worked for a social justice nonprofit, it's a very emotionally draining job. And so I was just basically spiraling out of control. And then I just kind of hit rock bottom. And I didn't go to a therapist, but I did go to a doctor. I'm just looking to make sure this video isn't too long. I didn't go to the therapist, but I did go to a doctor. And the doctor was just basically like, yeah, you really need to basically like manage your stress. Like, I know it's hard to find a way to manage your stress. And so I was like, that sounds great, but I don't know how to do that. Like, I'm so stuck right now. Like, because after I leave this doctor's office, I'm going to go home and I'm going to see the work that I need to do. I know I have an assignment that's due by the end of the week. I know I have another assignment coming up. I still got work to do for my job. Like, saying I need to find a way to decompress was basically easier said than done. And so I knew that the doctor was right, and I needed to do something. Like, I couldn't continue the way that I was continuing, because what that would have done, I would have just basically dropped out of school, and I didn't want to do that. Not to say that is wrong for anybody that wants to do that, But I know for me, I did not want to do that. Um, and so what I needed to do was to find a way to manage my stress. And I realized that one way that really helped me manage my stress was working out. Like, I don't know if it was just basically the exhaustion, the exhaustion from working out that made me was just like I just don't care. I'm just tired. Whatever. My body, it hurts, but it feels good at the same time. I'm like, I just don't care. And so I started to work out more, and I also started to shift my mind because I used to think that, oh, let me work out so that I can lose weight or tighten up or whatever. But after that doctor's appointment, I was like, no, girl, you need to work out to save yourself. Like to take care of your mental health. You have to work out. Like, that's just that. And so that leads me to like the next part or next segment of this video is finding that thing for you. Find that thing for you that allows you to decompress in a healthy way. Now, and I say in a healthy way because I would say that don't eat your feelings. That doesn't do anything and it adds more stress to you. In that video that I talk about surviving graduate school, I talk about getting a healthy snack. And I say finding a healthy snack because you're going to want to munch. And yeah, you're going to want to munch while you're doing your work. But when you're done munching and you got that degree, or even when you're having like a low point within your academic career, you don't want to look at yourself and feel even lower because you let yourself go. And so I would say that it's very important to find a healthy way to decompress, whether that is exercising, playing video games, gardening, doing an arts and craft project, like just a way to just let go and remember that you are still alive. Like, it's unfortunate, but sometimes being in graduate school can feel like you're in a fucking hellhole. Like, it's like, why won't the work stop? Make the work stop. And it's not going to stop until you graduate or until you drop out. But yeah, and so it just makes you feel like you're in a living hell. And so when you are constantly in a living hell and you don't take the time to say, hey, I'm a person, and I'm alive. Let me live my life. If you don't stop to do that, then you're going to experience just a fucking like shitstorm. You're gonna experience a shitstorm the way that I did, and you don't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. And so my advice to anyone that's watching this video, especially anyone that's in graduate school, is to find a healthy outlet for yourself and embrace that outlet. Like, when I say embrace it, I mean make it a fucking priority. Make it a fucking priority, like you make going to work, like you make doing your schoolwork, like you make taking care of your family. Make working out, or not even working out, make finding a healthy activity for you a priority, because you have to take care of you. If you are not taking care of you, nobody is going to take care of you. And you cannot be of service to others to the best of your ability if you are running on empty. Like, and especially you're not going to be of service to yourself while you're working on your degree, because you're going to be doing these assignments and you're not going to be feeling it. You're going to be exhausted and you're going to produce half-ass work. You're going to turn it in. Your teacher's going to give you a D or a C or an F, which I've gotten. And bruh, that shit don't feel good. And so it's just like you get in these bad grades because you yourself are not fully present and you don't have the capacity to give the necessary energy to your schoolwork. And you're producing half-ass work and just gonna continue to feed into your anxiety of like, oh man, I want to do well in school, but I'm not doing well in school. You know, the back and forth. So I say all that to say that it's very, 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 very important to take care of your mental health while you're working on your doctorate degree, or when you're in graduate school. Take care of your mental health. If you are not feeling like doing an assignment at that moment in time, step away from it. That shit is it's just gonna be there when you come back. Like, step away from it because you need to give yourself time to process and to approach it in the best way that you can approach it. And half-assing it is not gonna cut it. Unless you're just super, super smart and your half-ass is very decent. So, but not everybody is like that. I know I'm not like that. So, yeah, you it's so important to just step away. Again, it's unfortunate that these conversations are not common when talking about the graduate school experience. And it's basically like nobody's talking about it, but everybody's going through it. And I feel like if more people talk about it and just create a good support system for graduate students, that it can really help make the graduate school experience just better overall. Like, if you're not going to give me money to go to school and just provide me with just the resources I need to succeed as a scholar, at least provide me with the support system. Like, or just acknowledge the fact that we are in a living hell right now, and the only way to get through it is to go through it. And so it can be a lot, but I'm saying all of this to say that first and foremost, you are not alone. You will get through this, and if you decide that, you know what, fuck school, I'm right behind you. I'm gonna stick by you because the amount of the headache that you have to go through, you do have to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it really worth it? Am I guaranteed a degree? I mean, not a degree. Am I guaranteed a well-paid job if I get this piece of paper? Maybe you won't get a good job, but maybe you will. Like, you just have to do your own assessment. Like, ask yourself, is it really worth it? And if you feel like it's not worth it, then it's not worth it. Like, your graduate school experience, or getting your doctorate degree, or getting your graduate degree, like, that doesn't make or break you in regards to whether or not you're gonna fail in life. Like, in all honesty, it's not that serious. My decision to get my doctorate degree is half like my student loan debt is redonkulous, and so since I've gotten this far, I might as well just finish it up. But at the end of the day, do I think that having this degree is gonna make the money just start flowing in? No. That if I want the money to start flowing in, that's just gonna come down to just my own perseverance in order to making that happen. And I say that same thing to do. It comes down to your own perseverance. Your degree is not going to make or break you when it comes to you finding not only a well paid job, but a job that makes you happy. Like, your degree is not gonna make like a whole bunch of freaking doors open for you. And it's definitely not like, basically, it's not like no magic key. You are the magic key. You are going to make those doors open for you. Your degree is not. And so I'm saying all of that to say that don't kill yourself for a piece of paper. If you want the degree, awesome. That's amazing. If you don't want the degree, awesome. That's amazing. Like, but if you feel like getting your graduate degree is making you basically lose yourself and lose your mind, step away from it. It's not worth it. It really is not worth it. And I'm speaking from experience of having my master's degree and thinking that, oh wow, I'm going to have so much money flowing in. Ooh wee. Only to find out that I couldn't get a job for like 2.5 years. And I had my master's degree. And yeah. And after that whole experience, I was like, oh, so this degree doesn't guarantee job security. Oh, okay. Bet. Okay, that's good to know. So if I am going to go back to school and get my degree, I'm just basically getting it for ego purposes, or just to say I did it. And which goes back to just ego. And for me, that works. But for other people, if they don't feel like that's important to them, that is great for them, because you got to do what's best for you. And that's basically the whole purpose of this video, is to do what is best for you. Take care of your mental health while you're working on your degree. That paper is going to be there. It is going to be there. And it doesn't define you. That paper does not define you. It does not define your success. It does not define your capacity. Not even your capacity. The things that you are capable of. It doesn't define that. You define that. And you are the key to your success. So I'm going to end the video on that note. And I just want to say, y'all see my hair? I don't know. It just looked cute to me. But I just want to end the note on saying thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.